Rachel. Where's your husband?
Ex-husband.
Oh.
Hey, Rachel. You know he's single.
Okay, mama.
Just finished the first holiday movie of the season, and that is Almost Christmas. Time for a quick synopsis. Walter Meyer is a retired mechanic who lost the love of his life 1 year earlier. Now that the holiday season is here, he invites daughters Rachel and Cheryl and sons Christian and Evan to his house for a traditional celebration. Poor Walter soon realizes that if his bickering children and the rest of his family can spend 5 days together under the same roof, it will truly be a Christmas miracle. As I go through this, I'm going to be keeping a list on the number of holiday movies. That way, at the end of the year, I can see how many holiday movies I actually ended up watching. This movie kind of makes me happy when I watch it because it is a Black Christmas movie. And honestly, we have some, but we don't have a whole bunch of them. And the cast, like, it has well-known people in the cast. And well, let me just jump into one of my favorite things. Holiday drum roll. This is a hard one because it's between two. So I think I'm honestly going to round up. So I'm going to give it a sleigh or a 4. And it was really on the cusp of getting a 3 for snow or a sleigh. So I rounded up just because when I watch this movie, you can just sense like the family vibe that they had when they made this, and you can just tell that the actors had the best time making this movie together. I absolutely love how in this movie you kind of have like all these side stories going between the siblings, and they kind of have things going on in their life. Some of them get along, others do not, and you kind of see that. But at the end of the day, everyone comes together at the end of the movie because it is Christmas and their family, and you know, family's got your back. And I just really love the message. There is a lot of this movie that's really dumb. That's why I was leaning more towards a 3 in my rating. But it makes me happy, and I got into my feels when I was watching this. Like, I absolutely love the romance between Gabrielle Union's character and her childhood neighbor. Like, I love their chemistry through this movie, and I was in my feels, and I was just like, I love it so much. Then the dad in this movie, this is basically their family's first time spending Christmas together without their mom. And so the dad, like, he spends most of the movie, like, he's trying to replicate her pie recipe. And, like, in the end, he does it, and he's so proud. Because I feel like when you have someone pass away, you kind of want it to feel like they're still there in some sense. So this family did that through that pie recipe. And so, like, when he was able to replicate it without the recipe and it tastes like her, it felt like they had a piece of her. And so I'm not gonna lie, I was tearing up at that because I was like, oh my goodness, Monique is in this movie. But of course, she's just there for humor and kind of like the guiding family guide. It's just really, the kids in this movie are funny because they're like all on social media, like, oh, I gotta catch this, because they're like, my family's a mess, and they're like recording everything in. And then you got the side stories with Lonnie. He's basically like a washed up athlete, and he's still trying to chase the high of being famous, even though nowadays he's not. And so he like cheats on his wife Cheryl, and with like this grocery clerk, and then it comes out. There's just so much in this movie, and it's just, I don't know, I had to give it a 4 because I just felt the love that came in them making this movie. And like I said before, there are some dumb parts, and it can be dumb at sometimes, but it just made me happy because I feel like it's a relatable movie, and it just kind of like sums up, like, you know, Black holidays and kind of like the vibe there. You got dancing, like there's this whole scene where it starts off with like all the generation of women, and everyone, like, it starts off with the little kids and how their music is like some rap song, and then it's like the mom generation or their parents generation, they're like do like an older song, and then Monique's generation does like the oldest song. And so I kind of like that because that's on legit a family holiday like idea. Like, we're always dancing, we're listening to music, we're just having fun, spending time together. And that's kind of how I felt watching this movie. Like, I kind of felt like a sense of community, and it just honestly made me happy. So I had to give it a 4 or a sleigh. Let me know if you remember this movie, what you think. But yes, Almost Christmas. This has been another episode of Real Talk with Noelle.